I've been asked, why don't I make the certification for the International Scissor Sharpeners Association a little bit more difficult or have different levels of it? Well, this is just minimum basic skills. There are other organizations, and I can recommend some of them, that you can do the little bit more advanced certification with. But you got to pass kindergarten, you got to pass sixth grade, get to middle school before you can go to high school and college, and that's that's what we're looking at. And this is like minimum level skills, and I have a new one that came in today, and let's see whether they passed or failed and what we can learn from it. Every one of these certifications we've done that I've done the evaluation of, we've learned something from it if you've been watching my videos. So each one's different, aren't they? And if you're new to my channel, I'm Bonnie Megowan, Bonika Shears. I do a lot of videos on shear sharpening, clipper blade sharpening, things that relate to sharpeners for the salon industry and also for the groomer industry. And we have an organization called the International Scissor Sharpeners Association that very nominal cost to join for a lifetime. And then if you want to be certified, there's a cost for us to damage the shears, send them to you, you send them back, and then I evaluate them here. And I would suggest if you're interested in doing that, you can go to our website and sign up for that. But be sure and watch all the videos, or at least a lot of the videos that I've, especially the one on how I damage the shears, and then other ones where I evaluated. Because if you watch those, I mean, you're almost guaranteed to pass if you're just doing the way I check it. But we learn something from everyone I evaluate. So let's see what we're going to learn today. Subscribe if you want to see future ones, because not all my videos are the certifications. Have a lot about sharpening and knowing the angles and understanding edges and fixing different types of shears and troubleshooting. Alright, so this is one from the United States, and he's got two shears here and his test. So I'm going to pull them out, and if you've watched me do any of these evaluations, you know first thing I do is I test them to see if they cut. I do single ply toilet tissue, and then I do it wet, dry, wet, and then hair. So those are, and just the cutting is the main thing. If they don't cut, they don't pass. I don't care how pretty they are. Also have a written test, and if you watch some of my other videos, I actually go through all the answers to it, but I'm going to check his out real quick, so give me a second. I'm not going to bore you with going through all the questions and the correct answers, but I'm going to see if there's something that's wrong, and that helps me pinpoint sometimes if the shear doesn't cut. But I'm assuming this is going to be a really quick video today, and we'll be able to give a thumbs up, and we'll go with that. So let's check and see. Alright, so he's passed over one, got them all done. Okay, so I'm taking these out of the package. We have a beveled edge and a convex edge. Let's try the beveled edge first. And I'm going to bring this to the edge of my table here. Open it up. Least pressure possible. Cuts nice. Let's see if it cuts wet. Pull my thumb out, least pressure possible. Little ragged wet. See that? It's not perfect wet. Let's see how it cuts hair. Come on down here, Matilda. Nice crisp cut, no pushing. Maybe a little push, but not much. So, I'm going to say they cut dry. Bevel. They cut dry. Wet is ragged. but they cut hair. For a beveled edge, that would be a passing cut. Let's see how the convex does. Now we haven't looked at what he's done on it or anything. Let's try dry first. Get some fresh tissue here. Move this out of the way so you can see a nice contrast. Cuts dry. See how it cuts wet. 1, 2, 3. Cuts nice wet. Let's see how it cuts hair. Slight push. See that? Pushes a little bit. Oh, and I felt it pull. You see that? It pulls a little bit at the tip. Yeah. I'm going to do this wet again and see if I can determine what's going on at the tip. Yeah, I got a little bit of pull at the tip. You see that? See that? So there's something not right at the tip. All right, so now we're looking at the feel. How do these feel? These are supposed to feel kind of choppy. Let me check the adjustment. That's okay. Let's see how this one feels. Feels smooth. Feel a little roughness, but I mean, I would say okay. The adjustment is okay. I would probably make it a little tighter. Let me see if I wiggle it good. What happens? You see how it loosened up when I wiggled it? I would probably make it like at least 1 click tighter and have wiggled it. So I'm going to say okay on both of these. Not excellent, but okay. Let's see what the inside blade looks like. Okay, so he's left red Sharpie. That doesn't affect the way it cuts, but if you give that back with red Sharpie still here, the stylist will think you have cut yourself and bled on them. And I've had them happen, and they get all excited and they think you bled on their shears. The tip is burnt. Let me zoom in here. Yeah, you can see that. See how the tip's discolored? You can definitely see that in that light. Too much heat at the tip. Yeah, and you can see it here on the inside. Yeah, you can see in that light. You see when I turn back and forth, you see that little dark kind of a gold yellow color. And he left the serration on, which is good, which is what I tell people to do. I probably would have gone a little bit finer grit than what he ended up here. And there's a little bit of a nick left behind right there. It's teensy, but it probably needs to be a little bit more refined, I guess, on that edge. Maybe, I don't know what grit he ended up with, but he probably needs to go some more. It is rounded off. It's not pointy, and it does cut. Let's try this one. Let's take a look at the inside. That rod line is really wimpy right there. I'm not seeing anything major. Let's see if all the nicks are gone. Yep. Not on that side. Okay, all the nicks are gone. I don't know if I would call that a true convex. And that just does not feel sharp. Yeah, I want you to look at this edge. It's not convex and it's not really that sharp of an edge. Sometimes these are harder to do than other times. Okay, yeah, you can see that. Look at that. See? That's definitely a bevel and it's just not that sharp. It looks that way on both sides. If I'm feeling with my thumb, it's not catching on the skin of my thumb. If I had hair on my arms, which I don't, let's see if I can find any hair on my arm. It would not shave, I don't think. Man, I don't have a bit of hair on my arm. I know, there's no way to explain it except it just doesn't feel that sharp. And the tip does pull. And it's not a true convex edge. You can definitely see a bevel here. So I'm going to say on the inside, the rod line is wimpy. Especially right here. Let me show you where it's on this blade. Yeah, I don't even see the rod line. I'll let you look at it and you'll see what I'm talking about. See? It just super wimpy there. Rod line should be more. You see back here? I'm not even sure if the rod line was worked. So, work the rod line more. And you may want to let me know what you're using for the rod line. I might be able to give you some suggestions on that. The outside blade, it's beveled and not sharp. And also, the screw should be tighter. Screw a little loose. But the tip is nice and rounded off. The tip comes together. I'm not seeing discoloration on the tip, but I can feel something is catching the hair on that tip. When you close it really easy, you can feel something like something there at the tip that was pulling the hair. So I would like to see you do these again and improve them. They're good, but they're not quite passing. I've seen, you know, they both of them are cutting dry, or if you were to give them back to the hairstylist, they would say, oh yeah, these are fine. But I think you can do a little bit better. And that's what the evaluation's about. So I wouldn't feel like, oh no, I can't go out and do any sharpening because I'm not doing a good enough job. These are probably better than most that I'm seeing coming in here, but they're not what I think you're capable of doing. So I'd like to see you work on these again, and when they come back, we'll match up these numbers so that people that are watching this video can watch and see your second attempt and see how much you've improved. And if you have any comments or want to give me a call about this, do so. So I appreciate you staying to the end of this video, and we're going to see how his second attempt comes. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you're going to be looking for number 38757. When you see that one, you're going to want to watch it and see how it turned out after he worked on them a little bit more.